So, dear friends, welcome again. Till now, we have learned about the basics of some 3D printing and how we can add the multi material in 3D printed for real world application. Now, in this session, I will be exploring some of the application of 3D printed for the veterinary patients. This is one of the area which the engineers can actually explore for raising the research funds, and this is really interesting area. I believe that this will be of a new thing in our domain. Okay, so 3D printed model fabrication for veterinary patient is quite common. Nowadays, a lot of veterinary hospitals, they are short of the cadavers for the interest of training purpose to their young doctors, right? So one of the area where our 3D printing can be helpful for doctors, specifically in the area of veterinary, is in making the models on which the preoperative surgical planning can be done. Then the another area is the area of development of prosthetics and implants. So again, in this case, for the development of models, the procedure is again same. I need to have a CAD model. I will be generating a STL file. Based on STL file, I will be generating the G codes, then sent to the printer, and layer by layer, as required to the material properties, I will select a particular material, right, and we can print the part. So I'm going to take you some of the applications of 3D printing for the wild animals, exotic birds, exotic animals in this case, right? So first, let us say one example of the 3D printing in the reptile world. This work is in collaboration with our collaborator from the veterinary hospital. Actually, we are providing the support for the 3D printing of some of the prosthetic part for these type of wild animals. Like this is the case. Of course, this has not been done in our lab, but very reputed case study in which it is reported that this tortoise is having a shell damage because of the fire, and people have printed the ABS based shell around this tortoise, and so that it can have a useful life. This is one of the example that just I want to share with all my friends. Like the application of 3D printing can be in saving of these type of animals also. Then you can see in another example, because of some allergy or skin problem, this shell of the tortoise was damaged, and polymer based, basically the ABS shell outer cover has been put around this tortoise. Similarly, there is another very popular case study in which people have developed the prosthetic part for this tortoise, and he can move here and there. Then similarly, development of some prosthetic part for the lizards, right? Then development of some tail for the alligator or different wild animals, because without this tail they can't swim. So this has been prepared using a ABS material, as this is hydrophobic and there will be no damage. Similarly, there are example of using these type of 3D printing for development of beaks. You can see the 3D printed beaks have been prepared by researchers. Similarly, development of some prosthetic legs. You can see the number of cases in which the prosthetic legs have been prepared. Similarly, in this case, you can see this part. Without this, the duck can't swim. So that has been 3D printed. Similarly, the another cases for this hornbill, this beak part has been damaged. So just by taking the scan and doing the reverse engineering, people have reported the development of these type of beak material. So the basic idea is again, as an engineer, I have to take the CAD file, I have to generate the STL, then the 3D print the part and doing the assembly. Here, one thing just I want to share with my friends, there is a lot of scope for the research funding in this area, because very less people in our country are working in this area. Similarly, there are cases of development of beak with the through develop again using the CAD file and then generating the STL. and printing the part and doing the assembly. So you can see this is the 3D printed beak over here. Similarly, number of cases have been reported in which throughout the world people have done the surgery using the 3D printing. This is another case in which the 3D printing for the eagle beak has been there. Similarly, in case of the canine, people have reported the development of different prostheses. In one of the work, we have developed this stifle prosthesis in our lab, and we hold the patent for this. Like, what is the problem for these type of the dogs? Because of the damage of the patella bone. Basically, either there will be a medial patella luxation or the lateral patella luxation. Means the legs are going either from the on the outer side or they are skewed in the inside. So basically, because of the movement of the patella, we have to fix it using some cage. So we have developed this cage in our lab, and finally assembly for the easy movement of the patella in a bone in the tricular groove is ensured. Like for a typical mechanical engineer perspective, this is just like a slider crank mechanism. So I have to design a slider in a particular race in which it is moving, and there is no sidewise movement. So that has been one of the work in our lab. Similarly, the 3D printing application in the animal dentistry is also really interesting. You can see this is the maxilla for the canine, and this is the mandible. Like in case of human, we have the 32 teeth. Here we have the 48 tooth, and out of the 48, the 8 tooth are considered to be the strategic tooth. Like this is the canine, these are the strategic, this is the PM4, PM2, these are the some of the strategic tooth, right? Specifically in case of the defense dogs, where they are being used for some defense duties or some sniffer dogs in our airports, etc., we need to provide some covering around these strategic tooth, because if the strategic tooth is damaged, basically the dog can't perform its service as it is required. So the printing of some crowns around this surface and making it useful for these type of defense dog is again one of the very common work in 3D printing that people are doing. You can see in this example, what we have done is taking the impression from the dog and then preparing a stone model, then making a replica, right? And then this is the actual 3D printed metal 3D printed crowns that has been prepared, and it can be put onto the actual dog. Now, one of the beauty over here is these dogs have a lot of interchangeability, which is actually not in case of the humans. Like for example, if we are like sitting 30 people in a room, all are same age group, let us say same sex, all are right now male, and all are of the same age, same geographical location. Even then, our dimension of the tooth will not be similar. But in case of dog, there is a interchangeability. Like if there is a German Shepherd 3-year-old male, so they will have almost similar dimension. So what actually we do for 8 to 10 common breeds that are available in a particular geographical location, we used to make the replica of these crowns, and they can be put on the basis of the age, right? So that is the advantage with the veterinarian. Like if you want to put these type of crowns for long term retention, so this can be used. Then there can be use of 3D printing for doing different type of the surgeries over here. So you can see the damaged part over here. So this is the lateral view, intraoral view you can see, and after the surgery I have to remove all this part. So for making these type of the components, we can definitely use the 3D printing over here. After the this particular example, the only idea is to sensitize, like we can use our basic 3D printing that we learned for the application in wild animals, in pets also. And whenever we will go for the larger case study, we will show how we can make the sensors using 3D printing. I hope you enjoyed this session, and in coming session we will see how we can develop some more specific material using 3D printing and can use in the different applications. Thank you very much.